Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss to you about the inverse variation with the same level of difficulty, easy. So inverse variation. The statement y varies inversely as x means that when x increases, y decreases by the same factor. In other words, the expression xy is constant. So if y is inversely proportional to x, the equation is in the form of y is equal to k over x, where k is a constant or a constant of variation. So we have here y is equal to k over x, which is the equation of inverse variation. We also have this second formula. We have k is equal to xy, wherein we're going to solve for k, or the constant of variation. Again, we have two formulas here for the inverse variation. The first one is y is equal to k over x, which is equation of the inverse variation, and k is equal to xy, which is the formula in solving for k. Now, let's have this first example. If y varies inversely as x, and y is equal to 6, when x is equal to 4 over 3, write an equation describing this inverse variation. For our explanation, step 1 is we have to solve for k first by simply substituting the value of y, which is equal to 6, and the value of x, which is equal to 4 over 3. So we have now the solution. K is equal to 4 over 3 times 6, where the 4 over 3 is the value of the x and the 6 is the value of y. So all you have to do is multiply 4 times 6 and then divide the answer by 3 to get the result of 8. So step 2, after finding the value of k, substitute to the formula y is equal to k over x to solve for the equation of inverse variation. So we have here y is equal to 8 over 6, where 8 is the value of k over the x. So from our solution, we have y is equal to 8 over x. So again, in example problem number 1, if y varies inversely as x and y is equal to 6, when x is equal to 4 over 3, write an equation describing this inverse variation. Before we can solve for the equation, we have to find the k first, wherein the formula is k is equal to x times y. The value of x is 4 over 3 and the value of y is 6. All you have to do is multiply the numerator 4 to the whole number 6 and divide it by 3. So you will be able to get the answer of 8. So after having the k, you may now proceed to the next formula, which is finding the inverse variation, the equation of the inverse variation by simply substituting the value of k. And we have here y is equal to 8 over x. Example problem number 2. If y varies inversely as x, and the constant of variation is k equal to 5 over 2, what is y when x is equal to 10? So from here, we have the given k, which is equal to 5 over 2, x is equal to 10, and we're looking for the value of y. For our explanation, we have the step 1. Using the formula k is equal to xy, substitute the value of k, 5 over 2, and the value of x, 10, to find the value of y. So from there, we will have a solution. The value of k, 5 over 2, equal to 10, which is the value x times y. And in the equation, all you have to do is multiply it by 2 on both equations. Why? Simply because on the left side, if we're going to multiply that 1 by 2, so we have now the 2 times 5 and then divide it by 2 so that the result becomes 5. And then on the right side, multiply 10 and 2 to have an answer of 20. So from our solution then, so we have here the 2 times 5 over 2, which is equal to 10y times 2. So from the given equation, we will arrive with 5 equal to 20y. And then, the step 3, isolate y by dividing both sides by 20 to get the final answer. Of course, you have to express your answer in lowest term. So from there, we have 5 over 20 equals to 20y over 20. Cancel out the 20 there. So we have already isolated the y, and the value of y is equal to 5 over 20. Or in lowest term, we have here 1 over 4, which is equal to y. So but then again, in example number 2, so if y varies inversely as x, and the constant of variation is k is equal to 5 over 2, what is y when x is equal to 10? The given are x is equal to 10, k is equal to 5 over 2, and we're looking for the value of y. Simply because substitute the given to the formula. We have here 5 over 2, which is equal to 10. So after having that equation, multiply both sides by 2. So to get the answer of 2 times 5 over 2, which is 5. Simply because when we multiply 2 times 5, it is 10 divided by 2, the answer is 5. And on the right side, we have 10y times 2, this becomes 20y. So from then, we have to isolate y and eliminate 20 by simply dividing both sides by 20. And from there, we have cancelled out the 20 on the right side. We only have y remains on the right side, and on the left side, we have 5 over 20, and in lowest term, we have 1 over 4 equal to y. Example problem number 3. If y varies inversely as x, and y is equal to 10 when x is equal to 6, then what is y when x is equal to 15? Now, for the given, we have the first value of y, which is 10. The first value of x is equal to 6. We're looking for the second value of y, when the second value of x is equal to 15. So we have this strategy. In step 1, given y is equal to 10 and x is equal to 6, solve for k first with the formula k is equal to xy by substituting the values of x and y. So from there, so you solve for k, all you have to do is multiply the 6 times 10 is equal to 60. And you know what? There are other ways that will help us in finding the value of y. This is one of the way in solving for y. So we have to use the ratio and proportion formula. We have x sub y times y sub 1 is equal to x sub 2 times y sub 2. All you have to do is substitute all the given values and solve for the unknown. So we have here in our solution x sub y times y sub 1, x sub 1 times y sub 1 is equal to x sub 2 times y sub 2. So the value of the x sub 1 is equal to 6, the value of y sub 1 is equal to 10, the value of x sub 2 is equal to 15, and we're looking for the second value of y. So substituting that one to our formula, we have the first value of x 6 and the first value of y is 10 equal to the second value of x 15 and y sub 2, which is the missing. So multiply 6 times 10, we have 60, and remains on the right side, we have 15 y sub 2. So step 3, isolate y sub 2 by dividing both sides of the equation by 15. So both sides by 15, and then our final answers we have here, the y sub 2, which is equal to 60 over 15. And reduce that one to lowest term. Is it necessary? We have to divide 60 over 15 to solve for the final answer. So our final answer is 4 is equal to the y sub 2, or the second value of y is 4. Okay, going back to our problem number 3, if y varies inversely as x, and y is equal to 10 when x is equal to 6, then what is y when x is equal to 15? The given are y is equal to 10, x is equal to 6. What is the second value of y when x is equal to 15? So the solution, all you have to do is solve for the second value of y by simply using the ratio and proportion formula. The formula is x sub 1 times y sub 1 is equal to x sub 2 times y sub 2. Substitute all the given. So we have 6 times 10 equal to 15 y sub 2. So we have here the 60, and isolate y sub 2 by simply dividing both sides of the equation by 15. So we will have an answer of 60 over 15, which is equal to y sub 2. We have to divide 60 by 15. The answer is 4. And our final answer of the second value of y is 4. Example problem number 4. This is a word problem. The volume, denoted by V, of a gas varies inversely as the pressure P on it. If the volume is 240 cubic centimeters under pressure of 30 kilograms per centimeter squared, what pressure has to be applied to have a volume of 160 cubic centimeters? Now, for our explanation, we have to use the ratio and proportion formula denoted by V sub 1 times P sub 1 is equal to V sub 2 times P sub 2, where V sub 1 is the first value of the volume and P sub 1 is the first value of the pressure, equal to V sub 2, which is the second value of the volume, and P sub 2 is the second value of the pressure. Now, we have this formula again, and all you have to do in step 2 is substitute the values, where the V sub 1 is equal to 140, P sub 1 is equal to 30, V sub 2 is equal to 160, and we're looking for the P sub 2, or the second value of the pressure. Substituting the given to the formula, we have 240 times 30 equal to 160 times P sub 2. So, step 3, multiply 240 times 30. The answer is 7,200. So, 7,200 equal to 160 P sub 2. Step 4, isolate P sub 2 by dividing both sides of the equation by 160. So, now, divided 1 by 160. So, we have here the final answer of the P sub 2, which is 45 kilograms over square centimeters. So again, in our word problem, example problem number 4, the volume of a gas varies inversely as the pressure on it. If the volume is 240 cubic centimeters under pressure of 30 kilograms per cubic squared, centimeter squared, what pressure has to be applied to have a volume of 160 cubic centimeters? By using the formula of the ratio and proportion, substitute all the given values. We have 240 times 30 equal to 160 times P sub 2. So 240 times 30 is 7,200 equal to 160 times P sub 2. Dividing both sides of the equation by 160 to isolate the P sub 2. So our final answer for this problem, the P sub 2 is equal to 45 kilograms per square centimeters. And that's all for today, guys. See you on my next video. Thank you for watching.